people are questioning if I'm a New Yorker and saying really negative things about me, and I knew that this would cause negative attention and people would have something to say.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a former Miss New York, Brianna Siaka, warning the general public to not fall victim to a Zelle scam like she did in New York City. Now, before I get into her warning and a subsequent television interview from Miss Siaka, I'm going to give you a little bit of background, and you let me know how you think it'll play out. So, she's in the city, minding the business, whistling Dixie. All of a sudden, some teens come up to her and ask her to donate to their basketball team. Where do you think that's going to end up? Okay. Do you think it's legitimate or not? Straight from the beginning with just that information, is it legitimate or not? Before you can formulate a thought, let's get into the actual warning video. Then we're going to get into the reaction and interview after this. And without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
If you live in New York City or know of anyone who lives here, be careful. Yesterday, I was sitting in Madison Square Park in nature, minding my business, listening to a podcast, and these two boys came over to me and they were fundraising for their basketball team. They allegedly play in South Bronx and they can't.
Come on, the oldest trick in the book. But I guess some people have not been exposed to it, so you got to get a crash course, unfortunately. This crash course was pretty expensive, and I digress.
For their uniforms, and they were giving me the whole spiel. I agreed to give them some money, but I didn't have any cash on me, so they accepted Venmo and Zelle. I asked them what their Venmo was, and they said that they preferred Zelle. I opened my Zelle and I said, "What's your account?" And he goes, "Oh, no, don't worry, ma'am. I'll put it in for you. No problem."
Right there was the biggest red. First of all, the first red flag should have been basketball team donating, trying to get some money. That's I'm not going to do it at all. The big red flag was, "Oh, nah, I'll put it in for you," because here's what can happen. One of two things can happen, probably both. Number one, they steal your phone because you gave it to them. Now they can just run off and you're not going to catch these boys. It ain't going to happen. Number two, they can just send themselves whatever they want. That's automatic. You already know that from the beginning. Do not give anybody your phone. You got your app open. I'm not giving you my phone at all. Look, you want to make a phone call? You want to do something like that? No. Okay, you can go use somebody else's phone. You're not going to use my phone at all. I don't know you're a stranger. I think not, but I digress.
He takes my phone, starts putting in his stuff. I'm talking to the other boy. He's telling me all about his team, all about like how
you're being distracted. That's something else.
Well, they've been doing and how much that I would be helping and, and so on. And I realized that the young boy with my phone was taking a long time. So I kind of grabbed it from him and he was like, "Okay, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you." And they ran off. And I looked at my Zelle account and they sent themselves $2,000. I called my bank and apparently there's not much that they can do.
Because you gave it to them. You gave them the phone, had it open, and said, "Yo, you could put in whatever you want." Basically, you gave them a blank check and they wrote a blank check to themselves for $2 bands.
But they're still trying to work it out. I spoke to the police. The NYPD was beyond helpful. They were really... They did everything they possibly could, and I went to the precinct and I worked with the detectives, and these kids have been scamming people all around the city, like New York City parks, Barclays Center, like they're out and about scamming people, sending Venmo and Zelles to themselves. I'm shocked. Like, it feels kind of like a scary dream because these boys were so seemingly sweet and innocent and really charming, and
that's how they get you though. This is New York. It's like, come on, this is what they do. This is what they do all day long. So I understand you might feel a certain way, but it is what it is.
I thought it was really brave that they were going around raising money for their team, and just be super careful out there.
All right, so that's her warning. Now, there was quite a bit of reaction to this because it's like, how would you do that? Why would you do that? You're in New York. Like, are you dumb? A lot of those comments came as a result, and she has responded. We're going to get into that, but first, a word from our sponsor. Online data brokers sell your information to scammers, hackers, and anyone who wants to use that information against you. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, even your family members' information is all out there on the internet for sale. I mean, look at what they found about me. That's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information, and they automatically submit opt-out requests on my behalf. Cleaning up my information not only helps me reduce spam, but it protects me from hackers who may want to access my bank account, social media account, and maybe even the inside of my home. I learned that the hard way back when I got swatted. It's 2019, I'm streaming as normal, and before I know it, I have 6 cops at my back door, guns drawn. They come in the house, tell us to get on the ground. They come back very apologetic. I'm sorry, Mr. Logan, we got an anonymous tip that somebody was in your house bleeding, tied up, all this, that, and the third. Come to find out, the person probably got my information, including my phone number and home address, from an online data broker. You may be thinking, hey, ABL, why would I need Aura? How can that help me? I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a streamer. Well, AT&T just revealed that over 73 million existing and former customers' records were released to the black web. Now, AT&T recommends that you use stronger passwords and monitor your account activity, maybe consider a credit freeze or a fraud alert from a credit bureau. Well, Aura does all that for me. And the best part is that I don't need a bunch of different apps to accomplish this goal, all because one company could not keep my data secure. If your data was in the AT&T breach, just download Aura, activate it, have it in the background, and rest easy knowing that your data is safe. I value my privacy and I value yours. Visit aura.com/Anthony Logan through the link in the description to start your free 2-week trial today. All right, now here we have the story, the news clip in which she's responding to people talking about you're dumb, you should have known better, it's New York. And at a certain point, they're right. I wouldn't call her dumb. I would just say you're naive. That's the main thing. A lot of people don't know. They've not been exposed to this kind of behavior. I've seen this for years and years. This is the oldest trick in the book. But let's just play this and see what her response is.
Well, Bill, has become such second nature for so many people to reach for a payment app when they don't have cash in hand. The former Miss New York only planned to give these teens $5. Got so wrapped up in their sob story and their charm, she let her guard down. A momentary lapse in judgment costing her $2,000.
I'm not new to name calling. I came from the world of pageantry. I had nothing to lose.
The world of pageantry, preparing Brianna Siaka to become Miss New York in 2021 and to put on a brave face about becoming the victim of a fairly common Zelle scam.
People are questioning if I'm a New Yorker and saying really negative things about me, and I knew that this would cause negative attention and people would have something to say.
The 30-year-old former beauty queen posting on social media about being approached by a group of teens in Madison Square Park asking her for a donation for their basketball team.
Yeah, I can give you $5. What's your Zelle? I opened my Zelle and I said, what's your account? And he goes, oh no, don't worry ma'am, I'll put it in for you, no problem. I looked at my Zelle account and they sent themselves $2,000.
Siaka.
Now, before we continue, I wanted to add one thing from what I was saying earlier. This is very common all over the country. Atlanta, this is a thing that happens a lot, especially the water boys, they do this. So what the water boys will do is when you get to an intersection, a lot of times in the city, Midtown, downtown, Buckhead, not really Buckhead, definitely Midtown. They be out there a lot, right there on Spring Street. But anyway, what they'll do, they run up on you at the intersection with water or any kind of beverage. And it's hot in Atlanta, obviously in the summertime especially. And they're just trying to sell you some water. What they want is for you to pay a lot more than what the water is worth. They're trying to get you to give them a tip, a $20 bill or whatever the case may be. And they're going to be very aggressive a lot of times. Sometimes these guys have guns and fight over territory. But anyway, I digress. So if you don't have any money, they might try to do something like that. Hey, twin, give me your phone right quick. Turn on, talking about give me your phone. And then they might just put whatever they want in there. But sometimes they'll just take the phone and take your money. And that's it. They run off and you won't be able to do much. That's how that happens. That's so common. It's really unfortunate that people are not really aware.
Siaka immediately reporting the incident to her bank and the NYPD, but she also felt a duty to warn others, some responding to her post. It happened to someone a few weeks ago in Fidei. They took $4,000. OMG, this happened to me too. I snatched my phone before they could send more than $2. The boy snatched my phone back from me and started running away. I chased after him and he threw my phone down.
Now, here's something else. One thing about me, any kind of payment app that I have linked to a bank account, I don't have much actual cash in that account. So even if you could somehow get a hold of my banking, like a Cash App or something like that, even if you could get a hold of that, you're not getting no money because there ain't really no money in there. It's really, that's not where I keep my actual money. I have a lot of accounts and none of them are tied to any kind of payment app at all.
My phone down. This happened to me. You can dispute it with Zelle and your bank. Don't give up.
When I put the video out, hundreds of people reached out to me and said that they were a victim of this.
And the NYPD also on social media about the scam, warning other New Yorkers to never hand over their phone.
I would never, ever. For me, this is just a little bit of street smarts, but not everybody is from that kind of environment that I'm from. But I would never give you my phone. That's asking to get robbed. Because you luckily got the phone back because they ran off after they took the money. They could have took the money and the phone because that's also like a lot of guys breaking into cars to steal phones.
I was putting my heart forward and I wasn't even thinking. I just believed them.
Now, her bank, Chase, issued this statement to us saying, theft like this are despicable, and we appreciate Ms. Siaka using her platform to warn others about these criminals. Using a P2P payment platform to transfer money is just like handing someone cash, and once a payment goes through, typically it cannot be reversed.
That is correct. Absolutely.
As for the suspects, there have not been any arrests yet. Bill?
That is very correct. Once the money is handed over.
Now to a CBS 2 News investigation. It is getting.
That is very correct. Once the money's handed over, it's pretty much a wrap. You gave them the phone, the app was open, and they said, "Oh no, I'll just put it in for you." So you basically telling them, "Hey, yo, just send yourself $2," and you trusting that they're going to do that, but you can't trust people like that. You're talking about money, especially. Oh no. I would never in my life do that. But again, this is an unfortunate lesson she had to learn, but a lesson got learned. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to everybody out there who does not do this. And if you would do something like that, hopefully this video gave you a little bit of education about some street smarts. And I understand not everybody has it. A lot of guys and girls grew up in nice environments, so this kind of thing wouldn't really be something, okay? Like out where I live, I'm going to give you an example, and then I wrap it up and put the bow on top. Out where I live, I bought some mulch, right? And I went back, I needed some more. And then first, when I went the first time, they had a couple of guys come out and put it in my truck. But then when I came back, the girl recognized me. She was like, "Do you need any help with it?" I was like, "Nah." She's like, "All right, you can go out there and get it." I'm like, "All right, bet." She trusted that I wasn't going to take more than what I purchased. You understand? And I didn't take more than what I purchased. But that kind of behavior, that kind of trust can't really be all over the country. You can't really do that. New York City, I would never. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on this whole situation? Would you give a stranger your phone with the payment app open, talking about, yeah, put your Zelle in there and send yourself $5, whatever your thoughts are? Let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. Young lady just naive and not really aware of what's happening out here in the world. But now, again, you just got to learn. You can't trust people. You can't, money and stuff like that. You got to be on guard. Don't give anybody your phone. Just have this lesson be learned and learn from it. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.